I'm joined by Mr. Warcraft 3. His name is Grubby. We are on to the loser bracket now as Moon takes on ReminD. And Grubby, your thoughts ahead of this game?
Well, you rewinded just in time there to correct the name. I didn't have to remind you.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't need to give Warcraft replays any more reason to hate me.
And after all the puns, let's settle into the game. I'm here with Stuart, aka TosspoT, doing the cast. I'll be doing a lot of the talking, I guess, because I'm rather into Warcraft 3, and I like doing the cast and watching the game, watching any games, even where Orc isn't part of it, and that's what's going on here right now. As we see ReminD and Moon, two of Korea's very best Night Elves, and also two of the world's very best Night Elves, probably the top two, undisputed at the moment, are going head-to-head in the loser bracket finals of the MSI Beat It finals here in Beijing, China. And this will determine who can go on to the consolation final to play against Lin, who just got knocked down by TH.
So, Grubby, I had a quick question for you in the last match that I held as there was action ongoing. Many people feel that Warcraft 3 may not make it to 2011, or at least in its status as a pro game. But in China, it's second nature to them. This is the most popular game here. Do you not? I mean, can you see it living on in one way, shape, or form over here?
I could definitely see it living along here. We're seeing about 4 tournaments per month, and not all of them make it into the Western media, which I think is a big shame. They are also not using WAC TV, which is one of the favorite methods of following a match in Europe and in America, especially since when we're listening to casts from Chinese tournaments, it's almost always in Chinese, and it really takes a lot of the fun out of the cast experience that you could otherwise have when you don't understand what they're saying. But to get back to the point, Chinese tournaments, about 4 a month. And the general prediction and belief is that Warcraft 3 will definitely survive for at least 1, probably 2, and maybe more years after this. So 2011 and 2012, we'll be seeing much more Warcraft.
Do you think it could, quote, do a StarCraft in Korea and be the game of choice regardless of time?
I think it's definitely possible. The fans here are absolutely crazy about Warcraft 3. They're also they really hope that Warcraft 3 will survive too. They're not eager for StarCraft 2 to replace Warcraft 3. There's more interest here. There's definitely still more star quality in the players here for Warcraft 3 players and StarCraft 2 players. At the same time, in Europe and in America, Warcraft 3 is while very popular, it doesn't get as much attention anymore from sponsors and from tournaments, and also a lot of players have already switched. And it doesn't mean that they don't like Warcraft 3 anymore, but they're also just following a little bit where the money in the tournaments goes on account of growing up and also needing that financial justification for what they're doing.
Are you surprised by quite how well received StarCraft 2 has been? Because I'm from the FPS world, and if people are not playing their game of choice, they're playing StarCraft 2. There was a period of HON taking it, but everyone is all about StarCraft 2 right now.
Yeah. Am I surprised? I'm not really surprised. Blizzard never really disappoints me.
Quote and send to Mark Olberts. Okay.
If you do that, they know how I feel about their games.
It's a lot of love. So we are all set up with our second match. Where do you see this one going?
So recently on maps like Secret Valley and Echo Isles, we've seen a shift in the way that Night Elves play, and I think one person who's responsible for that is Moon. He's practicing with soccer. 2 excellent Night Elves in one team. They really found a different way to play on Echo Isles against almost all the races. They're like creeping with Ancient of War is definitely not new, and creeping with Ancient of War on the Mer camp on Echo Isles is also not. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Why did that Demon Hunter die? He was standing there for way too long. I can't imagine why he did that.
And that has opened the door for Moon to just keep plowing away.
But to get back to the point just for 1 second and let me finish the thought. They've been changing the way it's played on Echo Isles. They're doing a very they're doing Ancient of War creeping on the Mer camp as it was meant to be played. It's not new, but they're doing it very effectively, and they have good follow-ups. And there are many options to do after that, and that's something that the early Ancient of War creepers on the Mer camp didn't always find. And we can really see that the game is being taken to a new level on a yearly basis, if not monthly basis. And what happened after that is that, given the fact that they're both Ancients of War power creeping and trying to clear their expansion and make it as fast as possible, that people started to see a benefit in making just Huntresses. Instead of going for just Archers and then both getting tech, both getting expansion, if you were to get Huntresses, you could conceivably cancel your opponent's expansion and at the same time push them with your hunts. And if they tried to get their X but didn't get it, well, you're ahead. And what we saw this game, both of them were going for Huntresses, but Moon tried the expansion. ReminD came here and cancelled it, did get some damage, and then ReminD attacked again with one hidden AP, a big number of Huntresses. He also had the benefit of not having spent money on the Tree of Life attempt. So he was going full aggressive and Moon was going half aggressive, half expansion, plan B. And after that failed, he was behind in the resources, and even though ReminD lost his Demon Hunter before, Moon is on the brink of losing his. But there's a big difference between being on the brink and actually losing it.
Oh, is the Wisp going to get in the way?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful use by ReminD. ReminD is like a ninja, using every weapon from his environment against his opponent.
Fantastic work from ReminD there, using the Wisp to simply stand in the way and, well, almost Gandalf style, you shall not pass.
He only needed one hit to finish off the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter could conceivably run here past the fountain, pick up a little bit of life without waking up the creeps, without having to stop, run forward and take the Demon Hunter from ReminD on a merry-go-around. But the Wisp made short work of that, and he was able to finish off the Demon Hunter. So now both have lost their Demon Wands. ReminD lost one Ancient of War on the fountain. Moon lost his Tree of Life and his Demon and lost it again, and I think this is game, guys.
This is a crazy opening start here. I mean, are these mistakes or are these good plays?
Yeah, so these are mistakes, definitely. But is it easy to avoid making them? Not necessarily. I do think both are not playing precisely perfect, but that makes it exciting too. So we as a viewer can only applaud that. That's usually what creates long back and forth games when both aren't playing perfectly. We do see that Moon doesn't have that much left up his sleeve, so we might be looking at a bit of what I heard you call before in Quake junk time, and the junk time is now limited to 0 as Moon calls GG, and he can't be too happy with his performance there. He lost one Ancient Protector in his base without being cancelled, even though he killed ReminD's Demon Hunter. He lost his shortly thereafter and then shortly thereafter again. So I think he'll be thinking back most decisively about the Tree of Life attempt.
Now, you know Moon better than most. What is it about Moon that causes such sort of peaks and troughs in his form? You know, because one year Moon could be the man to beat. The next year, you may simply not hear from him in a top-level tournament. He can really go from hot to cold very quickly. What is it about him that creates that?
I could guess, but even though I know his playstyle, I don't really know what's going on, you know, in his life. He's quite a private person, so it could be that during a time, even though he was motivated to win, he wasn't motivated to train for it. Or even though he was training, he couldn't find that special spark. Or maybe because he's such an accomplished player, he felt like He had seen it all before, and it took him trouble to get into the proper fighting spirit, to be hungry enough for the victory. But ever since, I think, WCG 2008, he's been hungry enough for wins. He's been picking up a few here and there, and especially in about the last 6 months, he's become again a very dangerous player for basically anyone. And I think one thing that really helps him is being in a Korean team now with Korean practice partners who they're being forced to play together whether they like it or not. Because in Warcraft, being a solo game, when you practice with teammates and friends, sometimes pride becomes an issue, and or there's people dodge each other because they don't like losing to the same guy over and over. But when you're in the same team and when your manager is forcing you to practice together, that's usually going to have a positive effect on the level of play from the players anyway.
Now, how much do you know of the sort of WeMade environment? First of all, it was rumored that Moon left one massive contract in MYM to potentially an even bigger one in WeMade. Are they the organization that everyone believes they are from the outside?
Well, so WeMade Foxes, they're quite a well-known team in Korea. I think they're quite well-to-do. They did buy Moon out of a contract which allegedly was quite high. I know that Moon is the most famous Warcraft 3 player in Korea, also the most accomplished, and he's still around after so many years. So he has a lot of skill and a lot of popularity and a lot of value for a team like that. They're using him to promote their products. They have other products. So
they do have the coolest jerseys.
They have pretty cool jerseys, but a lot of Korean pro teams do.
Oh yeah, I went to the Pro League finals last year, and it's like, this is what we should be doing back in Europe. So
spacesuits.
Yeah. And what I was most impressed with was little girls who were there cheering on the players as if it was Beckham on the stage.
Yeah. In Korea, it's both genders enjoy esports almost equally.